Today we answered the age-old question, which came first, the chicken or the egg? So I know this is a small community, so a lot of you might not know what I'm talking about when I'm discussing these things. But yesterday, my training partner Bobby, Josh, Tippy, and Profit Fear had a podcast, and they were discussing, amongst many things, Max's relationship with me and why he hates me so much. And I got a couple of answers that kind of surprised me. One of them was humorous. About a year ago, I put a picture of Max on my punching bag as kind of a joke. And it was, I guess in a way, I was just sort of like reminding him what could happen if he really wanted to go down that road. But in a non-serious way. And then the other one is that I use steroids, admittedly. And I'm unabashed about it. I'm unapologetic. And I don't really see how it's anyone's business. I think I'm pretty responsible with it. I get my blood work done every couple of months. And I'm not on, like what he insists is a mountain of drugs. I just got my blood work done and I'm super healthy. Well, I'm healthy. There's some stuff I could work on. There's always room for improvement. We'll put it that way. But for a 49-year-old who, does what I do, I'm doing really well. His issue, Josh Tippy's a young kid, and I guess he is upset with him because we're friends. And he, according to Josh said, well, how can you support somebody that uses steroids? And I got thinking about it. Two things. One, I don't really see how it's relevant to him. Like, what is what I do or don't do have anything to do with him at all? He certainly doesn't have anything to do with me. And two, it did get me thinking, would it be better to do a responsible cycle of anabolics or put 100 pounds of fat on and eat nothing but junk food every day? What's more of a health risk? And what's more of a lifting advantage? So I weigh 220 pounds. I bench roughly 405 pounds right now. Would I be able to bench more if I went ahead and just decided to blow up like a balloon and put 100 pounds on? If I got to 300 pounds, in order for me to be competitive at my weight and age, I would have to have a 500-pound bench minimum just to even be in the top 5. I think I would need more than 500 pounds at 300 pounds body weight. But at my body weight, 220, the number one bench presser in the world right now is not even at 500 pounds. So body weight, and this isn't an untested division. This is guys that use steroids and anabolics. And we all compete with the same rules, so there's no cheating or, any of that. So if you look at the weight classes and you break it down, as you go down in weight, then the numbers, not only to be an elite lifter by the category, but the numbers posted by the actual lifters go down significantly. Because one of the things that is often leveraged to me is that, you use age and weight a lot, and that's coping. And I always say, well, if it's coping, then where are the lifters? If I'm just sandbagging, or reverse sandbagging in this case, if I'm using weight and age as an excuse, then how come there's not a bunch of people that are way, way, way better than me? How am I top 5 in the world? Where are they? Show me in the records. Where are they at? I'm at the top because there's no one my age and weight doing better than me. I mean, other than those guys. That's very small handful of men in the world. If that's the case, if age and weight has nothing to do with it, then why can you go through the records and go up in weight and see the numbers get bigger as they get heavier? It is, it's at this point, it's basically empirical data. They have a mountain of research on it. You can go look at the numbers yourself and you can see the weight classes. A 300-pound lifter that could bench 300 pounds wouldn't even be competitive, if that makes sense. So that's a kind of like the topic is basically, if you're going to leverage that using steroids is cheating, being on testosterone replacement therapy and then doing small cycles as we go into competition is somehow cheating, but you weigh over 100 pounds more than the person that you're supposedly competing against. Where is that advantage or disadvantage taken into consideration? And then, of course, it brings me back to the fact that, I don't understand how anything I do or don't do has anything to do with him at all. I don't get it. You tell me, Max. You tell me how what I do affects you in any way, shape, or form. Now, you might be competing with me. You might see me lift something and you might decide, oh, I'm going to show this guy up. Or you might see me squat something and realize that you'll never, ever be able to do that. And you think that, well, he just does a bunch of steroids. That's why he squats so much. But I'm not competing with you. What I lift or don't lift has nothing to do with you. I have guys, serious lifters, that are going to be competing in October. And if I don't get my numbers up, I'll have no way of competing with them. And you're not even a thought in that process at all. Nothing. There's no point in that process where you enter into it. So I don't see how it could be on the flip side. I don't understand how I have anything to do with you. And I don't understand why you're trying to control people and tell people who they can or can't talk to. And I don't understand why those people think that you have any authority to do so. Max, I'm calling you out directly, buddy. You're not a real man. If you were, you would face me. You would talk to me face to face. We would have it out, and I would tell you what to do with your opinion. Honestly, you're just kind of you're an amusement. That's what you are. You're a distraction. But there's a part of me that's bothered by the fact that you think that you actually speak for people. Because you're nothing. You're no one. What are you? You don't compete. You barely lift. And the lifts that you do have are mediocre at best. Especially for a guy that weighs as much as you do. I mean, look. Anybody that can bench 400 pounds, that's a very small percentage of men that'll ever exist on this planet. So that is in itself an accomplishment. But if you want to talk about competitive lifters, guys that are at the top of the sport, you wouldn't even make the top 40. You know what I mean? I don't even think you would make the top 100. So you do with that with what you will. But I'll be honest with you, it's you could keep making videos about me. I really don't care. I don't watch them anyway. I don't watch them, right? I haven't seen a single one of them. Not one single one. I've watched a couple where I tried to get through 5-10 seconds of it, but the way your voice is, you sound like you're fat and nasally. I just can't do it. I can't just listen to you and you're kind of talking like you got your mouth full of food. And you might say the same thing about me. You might be like, dude, that guy's voice is annoying. It's grating. I can't take it. I'm not going to listen to it. Fine. Okay, cool. The thing is I'm not walking around harboring a bunch of animosity and resentment and hate. And the other thing is if you are a troll channel, if the whole purpose of your channel is to troll and harass other people by name, and it is supposed to be in good fun and humor and comedy, well, then why can't you take a joke? That kind of, it speaks to your mental state. I don't know. So, in summary, the question is, would it be better to do a responsible cycle of steroids in preparation for a lifting competition where steroids are legal? Or would it be better to stay natural and put on 100 pounds of fat? That's the question. Community, I leave it to you.